Hello, beautiful friends. How's everybody doing today? I am so excited about today's video. I'm actually doing my very first collab. It's with another influencer here on YouTube. She reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do one. I said, absolutely. I had never done one before, so I'm so excited. So if you want to see who that influencer is, please continue watching. There's a lot to go through today, so let's just get started. So what the collab is I had to pick out 10 affordable products that I absolutely love. Let me tell you how hard that is. I have the hardest time with these kind of videos, picking out only 10, top 5, because I love all my makeup. They all share their own little purpose and they all have their special moments. So these are very difficult, but I think I did a pretty good job on picking out, top 10 or 10 affordable products that I absolutely love. But the collab is with this most amazing woman that I met here on YouTube. And how I met her, she actually was a subscriber here. And one day she commented, and said, hey, I actually just reviewed that. And she, gave me her thoughts on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's an influencer. So of course I click on her name. I go over to her channel and I fell in love immediately. She is just a breath of fresh air. What I love about her is that she reviews all kinds of stuff, affordable makeup, high end. And another thing is she's truly honest. She'll tell you how it is, she'll give you alternatives, if the product is high end and she's like, well, you could get this out of this product. And I just found that refreshing. Those are the type of influencers I want to follow. Someone, that's honest, that I can trust, and I truly can trust her. And, she's 67 years old and she just does the most beautiful eye makeup. She's not afraid of color. She does a lot of neutrals. She's just very well-rounded. And that's what I love about her. Also, she is from Tampa, Florida. She has 2 children. She's been married 48 years. I mean, what an accomplishment that is. She loves reviewing makeup. She loves to travel. She has 6 grandkids and 1 on the way. So yes, she is just a sweet, sweet woman. And what I loved immediately too is that she has like a soothing voice. She's so laid back, not like me. I'm just kind of wired all the time, but she's just very relaxing. And that's what I find when I watch her. She just calms me and she inspires me, to be more relaxed. This is just makeup. We're just reviewing makeup and just have fun with it. And that's what, I get when I watch her. It's like watching a friend and we're just talking about makeup, so I absolutely love her. And her name is Clara Barrera. I mean, how fun is that to say? And I'll be putting all of her information, here and down in the description box. And she's also doing a video too. So it's just going to be so much fun. And if you're coming from Clara's channel, thank you so much. Welcome. And we're so excited that you're here. Thank you so much, Clara, for asking me to do this collab, because I am just truly honored that you asked me, and I just adore and love you. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the eyeshadow. If I had to guess what palette she chose, I'm going to guess it's something from Moira. The palette was very difficult for me because this is where I really fall into problems, because there's no perfect palette out there for me. I like, pinks, but not too pink, more of I don't like a mauve, a very light mauve, and I like neutrals. So, and every once in a while, I like a green or a blue. So there's really no perfect palette out there. If you guys know of something like that, let me know. But this palette, I found it on Amazon. It's called Lamora Attraction Palette. Now, the reason why I chose this is it is cool tones. And it's a pretty exact dupe, pretty darn a close dupe to the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. And I'll show you that in just a minute. And I also did a video on that showing you how close they are. So if you want to see that, I'll link that up here. But let me just show you how close of a, dupe this is. So here are the 2 together. Now, as you can see, I mean, that is pretty darn close. Now, the only difference is the Natasha Denona has 15 pans and this one has 12. So, I mean, not much of a difference for that huge of a difference savings. So that's a palette I chose because it is one that I do reach for quite often, you know, whether it's, you know, just going to go shopping, or a lot of times if I'm going to something special, I do grab for this one. But I'm also going to tell you what I do grab for on the daily that's super affordable. It's the e.l.f. palettes and the hard candy, these little bite size. Because, again, like I said, there's no perfect palette. And I'm going to show you that pink or mauve that I'm looking for. So this is like the perfect... I would say more pink palette for me, because I love, as you can see, this shade. And this is just a great palette to reach for if I'm feeling I'm just going to do a pink palette. I love their neutral palette. So, and the hard candy are great, you know, if I want a splash of color. So this is why it's so difficult. These I reach for basically almost every day. Okay, so she didn't include primers in her most favorite, and I agree. You know, primers, you know, we don't want to waste. We only got 10 products, so we're not going to waste what our favorite products are. But if you watch my channel, you know exactly what primer I would be putting down anyway. But the primer I am using, I will let you know, but we're not counting it at the top, you know, our top 10, is this one here. And I do find it on Amazon. It is super affordable, and it's a very close dupe to the P. Louise, and I just happen to like it better because I have very dry eyelids, under eyes. And if you are here from Clara's channel, just so you know, I had dry skin. I'm 52 years old, and but I do have an oily T-zone, but everywhere else it's super dry. More so in the winter, but yeah, so that is my skin type. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with this shade here. It's called a Sand in this upper corner here. And it's just a very neutral, good transition shade. And I'm just going to kind of tap it because these are pretty pigmented, just like the Natasha Denona palette. So you got to be kind of light-handed, because if you go in with too much product and too quickly, it is just going to be too much in one spot, and it's a little harder to move around. And that's with any palette. So I just like to tap it on first and then kind of swirl that around just to really mute that and diffuse these edges here. Yeah, so I've never done a collab. I don't know why. So when she asked me, I was just so happy, and like I said, I just adore her. She's the perfect person to do your first collab with, you know, because she's just, like I said, very laid back. So definitely please go check out her channel. Yeah, you will just fall in love with her, as I have. Yeah, she's just very calming. So a lot different than me. Okay, so I think the next shade I'm going to go into here is called a Stone. So it's just a little bit deeper of a shade. And because I do have hooded eyes, I do have to take a lot of my shadows up higher. And what I'm finding, just a little tip, and I just dipped my brush in the wrong shade. What I'm finding, it's just going to look very strange right now, but I almost make a mad face because I do this a lot anyway, because I'm constantly squinting to see, because my eyes, you know, are going really bad. So I just kind of do a mad face here and draw how far I want the shade to go up, because that's, you know, I want it to be seen. I want my work, all this work that I'm putting in, to be seen. So as you can see, it's up pretty high, but that's what I have to do. Now I'm just going to take a clean brush here and just kind of go around the edges, just to really, you know, connect those two shades and make it more seamless. I think for this shimmer, I'm going to use this one here, and this is called a Secret. It's a beautiful, it has like a pink undertone to it. So let's see how that looks with this look, because I do love my pinks. Oh, that is really pretty. Yeah, the shimmers in here, the shimmers in here are super pretty, very creamy. They're a nice shimmer, you know, they're not too bold. You know, there's not tons of glitter flying all around. It's just a perfect little formula. And I think I'm going to darken up this outer corner just a tad. And I'm going to go into the shade Dirty here. And I'm going to use just a small brush because I just want just enough to add a little bit of dimension to this look. So I'm just going to add just a little bit on this outer edge here. And I love watching Clara apply her eyeshadow. She has like the perfect eye shape. You know, she has those nice, you know, she has a lot of space on her lid. So yeah, I just love watching her because she can really come up with the look very quickly. And she's also over on Instagram, and I'll put all of her Instagram information down in the description box as well. Okay, so I applied the eyeliner, but that's not in the list. But what I did use was this CoverGirl Expeditionist. I love this eyeliner. It's one that you do sharpen, and it's almost like a kohl liner. And what I do is just apply that really close to my lash line, and then I put it in the outer corner here, and take one of these brushes that I find on Amazon. They're amazing. And I just take that and kind of smudge that out, and it creates a wing. And I like doing this a lot better lately than, you know, a felt tip liner, because these I just find are more forgiving, or I just use my eyeshadow. And for mascara, I chose the one by Milani. It's their highly rated mascara. This is a tubing mascara, and it's a very close dupe to the Thrive one. So that is what the wand looks like. Yeah, this is an amazing mascara. It does, you know, create length and volume just like the Thrive one. And if you don't know what a tubing mascara is exactly what it says it is. It creates these little tubes around your lashes. But the great thing is when you go to take it off or remove it, it basically just comes off with water. So you definitely don't want to go swimming or anything when you do have this on, because it creates tubes, and when the water hits it, it just kind of comes right off literally in these tubes. So that's why I love a good tubing mascara. If you are new, you're going to see I create a huge mess when I apply my mascara, but I do just let that dry and clean it off. So don't be alarmed. This happens all the time. But a great thing is this little tool here. I think it's called Mr. Tweezers or something like that. And I get that on Amazon. And it is wonderful. You know, if you're in a hurry and you just don't want to create a huge mess, and it just works at as a great little shield here, so it doesn't get all over, you know, your makeup that you took all the time creating. And the wonderful thing when you use this tool is you basically can get really close to that base, as you can see, and I'm just pretty much dragging it right across that shield. Now the shield does get pretty dirty, but it's better than being on your eyelid. Okay, and for the complexion, again, we're not putting the primers in the list, but I will share with you what I did use. If you are a follower here, you know what I'm going to be telling you. I did fill in my pores with this here. It's called the Maybelline Master Blur Stick. This is my holy grail. I absolutely love it for putting it in the T-zone. It really does conceal your pores and really does kind of mute your fine lines and wrinkles. So that's why I do love this. And then just for my regular primer, this is what I've been doing lately. I haven't even been using face primers. I've just been using my sunscreen here by e.l.f. I love this new one. It's called their Whoa Glow or something, but it has SPF of 30 in it. So let me just place a little bit on the back of my hand so you can see what I'm talking about. It's almost empty. So yeah, it's almost gone. But I do have backup, so I'm not going to panic here. But as you can see, yeah, it just adds like a beautiful glow. So again, because I do have super dry skin, those are the primers or sunscreens I do reach for. Something that just gives my skin a little bit of radiance and glow. Okay, and for complexion, this probably won't be a surprise to most of you as well. Is this one by Maybelline. It's the new Super Stay Skin Tint. I got mine in the shade 220. This is a little deep for me, so I do have to alter that, and I'll show you what I do in just a minute. But as you can see, it has like these beautiful like pearl effect in it. I just been reaching for this so much lately. Now this is what I'm choosing today. Now it could change in a month. It could change, you know, during the seasons. But for right now, I have been loving this. And one of the reasons why it's super long wearing. This will last on my skin for hours. After 10 hours, it looks almost, the same as when I apply it. So for right now, being out in the humid weather, this has been absolutely perfect. So let me show you what I'm telling you about it being a little bit too deep for my complexion. Also, this just so you know, this usually comes with a dropper, but I find these on Amazon. This makes, it's a game changer. My daughter-in-law purchased this, she's like, oh my gosh, I hate that dropper. Then she went and got this. She goes, oh my gosh, what a difference. I'm like, see, I told you. So as you can see, this is pretty deep for my skin tone right now. So I don't know. I am self-tanning, so it just depends. But I am going to add just a little bit of this blue LA Girl. And what this will do is just kind of neutralize that darkness, or even if your foundations lean more towards warm or yellow, this will really just calm it down and neutralize that. Now, don't panic if it looks blue at first when you apply that on your skin. I promise you this will all blend out and it will make sense. But yeah, when you first apply it, if you don't mix it really well, it does look a little intimidating. So let's see. I do have my sponge down here somewhere because I did forget my foundation brush. So I am just going to tap this in, and as you will see how fast it really does blend into the skin, and it leaves a beautiful radiance. I like a little bit more like a medium finish, so this is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, again, how fast that was to blend in. I do have a beautiful glow going on. Yeah, I just absolutely love that foundation. Okay, and then for bronzers, I did bring down a cream one and a powdered one, and this is part of the list. So the cream one, I did, what I chose was the Luminous Putty Bronzer by e.l.f. These are just really nice. I've tried the new Milani. I've tried the new e.l.f. one, the wands, and those were great. I love the tones of them, but they're just a complete mess and they don't give you a lot of product. So I could see myself going through those tubes in like seconds. Yeah, they are just wonderful. And they just blend like a dream. They're buildable. So yeah, for affordable cream bronzers, I definitely would reach for this. So how I came up with my list is how easy the products are to use, how much you get in the product. I want something that's a good bang for my buck. I don't want to go through a product in like a month. So those were the factors in choosing all these products. And as you can see how beautiful that bronzer is, it just blends in so fast and easy. And of course, I can never see the shades on these e.l.f. ones, so I definitely will put that in the description box. But yeah, I love it. It's like the perfect tone for my complexion. So again, it looks like this. So for the powder bronzer, I chose the one by Milani. As you can see, it's very well loved. It's just the perfect tone. My bronzers, I want a cool tone shade, and that's what those two are. So this one is in the shade Suntan 03. And I will apply just a little bit over this cream one, just to show you what, you might not be able to tell, the shade of it, but it also will set this cream product, but you might get the idea. So yeah, it's just a beautiful bronzer, super long wearing. It blends really quick. So that is what that looks like. And I will just swatch a little bit on the back of my hand just so you can see. Yeah, that is such the perfect shade for a bronzer, again, on my skin tone. Okay, and then for a blush, this will, come to a surprise to a lot of you because I don't talk about it much on the channel, only I don't know why. But it's one that I find on Amazon, and I got 3 shades here, and it's called Veronis. So let me show you what they look like. So let me turn this one around. So this is what they look like. I'll try to put in the center. They're just really cute. They're like in these glass bottles. They are super affordable. Sometimes you can find them for like $3. Super long wearing, and I just love the shades. So I'm debating which shade I want to use. Today, I think I'm going to go with this one here, the more a cool tone one. And yeah, this is a bright pink, so I'm just going to shake it up just like I would my nail polish. Now with this, what I do is place this on the back of my hand because these are super pigmented. So that is just a little amount. And I'm just going to grab like the corner of it and blend that into my hand first. As you can see what just happened and what it looks like on my brush. So, but as you will see, it's not super bright once you do this. Now, had I gone directly on my cheek, it would just be a bright pink. But I just blend it out just to kind of, you know, diffuse it, mute it, so it's not so potent. I do this a lot with my Rare Beauty blushes too because those are super pigmented, and if you're not careful, it can create a mess. And I'm just going to place a little bit in the center of my forehead, a little bit on my nose, just grab a little bit more, and right here on my chin. So that just kind of, you know, ties everything together. And yeah, look how beautiful that blush is. And it's super, you know, bright. So I am going to take my sponge and just kind of go around the edges, just to calm everything down. Okay, let's get into concealer before I forget about that. And what I did bring down is, I can't remember. I don't think this is in with my top 10, but I do use it, or some kind of corrector, only because, you know, the inner part here of my eyes are a little dark. And again, they're super dry like the Sahara Desert. So this will add a little bit more hydration. And this is the Milani Supercharged in 120. So this has like a peach tone. And what I do is just add a little bit in the corners here and just spread that around. So this is like really, it's more runny, but it really does a great job at concealing any darkness under my eyes. I mean, look at that. It really did a great job. A lot of times I'm like, gosh, I could just go out the door once I cover up these dark spots just with these kind of products. But I do like using just a little bit of concealer because it will brighten the under eye, and that's what that looks like. And now my under eyes are super hydrated and ready for the concealer. Now this may come to a surprise, but maybe not. The concealer I'm choosing because I've been using it so much lately, and it's by Miss AOA. It's newer, but it's super creamy. I love the shade. So it just looks like this. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the outer corner and on my inner corner, and just a little bit right through the center of my nose. I've just been doing that a lot just to brighten that area. And I'm just going to take my sponge and just really tap that in. And what I love about this is I don't have to set it with powder. I can get away with it, and it doesn't crease hardly at all. I mean, all concealers will end up creasing eventually throughout the day. I don't care. I've tried many concealers, and yeah, they all do. If you have fine lines and wrinkles, it's bound to happen. But just some crease more than others. It's not accentuating any dry spots if I have any. It's just a great concealer, and it's $1.88. So very nice concealer. Okay, and for powders, I found the first one I'm going to use on Amazon. It's called the Perfect Pore Pink Pack. And I only apply this in the T-zone and under my eyes, only because this will brighten that area. As you can see, it's like a light pink hue. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to place a little bit on a brush here and go down the center of my face and just along my nose here. And I'm just going to place very, very little under my eyes. And let me make sure, I should have made sure if they're creasing. And no, no creasing. Again, like I said, you probably could get away without even applying any powder under the eyes. I just like applying a little bit, just like I said, to brighten that area. Okay, and to set the rest of my face, I love this powder. I mean, this is an amazing powder, I think. It really rivals up to a lot of my high-end powders, and it's by Wet n Wild. It's called the Photo Focus, and this is in the shade Translucent. So this is a very finely milled powder. As you can see, it is just very finely milled, so it can be messy. It really does lock in my makeup. So I'm just going to apply that all around the perimeter of my face. And really put some under here too, because I did put some cream products under there. Yeah, that is such a wonderful, affordable powder. Okay, so for a powder blush to set over this cream blush, the blushes I absolutely love by this brand, Essence here. They have the best blushes. These are wonderful. A lot of people say this is a dupe to the Dior in the shade. I don't know about the formula, but all of their blushes that I've ever tried, they are just really nice. They're pigmented, long lasting. They're not, patchy or anything. So as you can see, and I'm going to apply a little bit in my shadow. I love doing that. It just ties everything together, makes everything more cohesive. So that just brought a little bit of light back into my cheeks. And again, I'm going to apply a little bit in my eyeshadow. So yeah, these are wonderful little blushes by Essence. And this is in the shade, the Berry Connection. I reach for these all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to set my base. I'm going to use a setting spray. I always use a setting spray. I'm obsessed with them. I think they are just worth it. I feel like, especially if you use powders, it just melts all those powders into your skin. And the one I chose for today that's super affordable, that is wonderful. It's by Makeup Revolution, Conceal and Define. Now, the only con to this one is its nozzle. It does come out just slightly aggressive sometimes. It depends on its mood, I think. Now, it's very aggressive. And then I also like spraying a little bit on a sponge, just tapping the back of my hand. And then I do go under my eyes, just to melt those powders into my skin. I just absolutely love setting sprays. If you're a follower here, you guys know how much I love my setting sprays. Okay, so let's apply a little bit of lipstick, and the one I've been reaching for a lot lately, these are wonderful. It's a plumping lip liner by Catrice, and this is in the shade Cheers to Life. So it's wonderful. It's a retractable one here. Now, if you're a follower here, you're probably going, what about your Essence, because duh. Well, I don't think that's available anymore, so I'm so sad about that, because I would have, put the Essence because I use it all the time. And yeah, I'm just so sad they do not make that shade anymore. Oh, such a bummer. So as you can see though, this does glide on real easy. And these are super long lasting. Now, as for plumping action, there is something flying around down here. I think I have a fly down here. For plumping action, I don't really feel any plumping. I don't feel like my lips get, any more full. So I don't know about that, but it's a very nice lip liner. I love the shade. I love that it's long lasting and super creamy. And for lipstick, this was a hard choice too. Lipsticks are very, very hard because of the shades. One might look better with a look than another. So the one I did choose to go with this look today, it's by Essence, and it's in the shade Amazing. I think these are really underrated. They're super creamy, very long of wearing, I think. So yeah, that's what it looks like. That's the shade. And as you can see, just how creamy these are. Yeah, I think they're just very underrated. I think, so many other lipsticks come along and these other ones just kind of get forgotten about. But I'm telling you, these are really nice. And the other one I did bring down, because I wasn't sure how this look was going to turn out. But the other one I do love is this one. It's by Maybelline, the Super Stay Vinyl Ink. These are wonderful too, very long wearing. They're not as creamy. They go on creamy, but they do dry down. So it's just a preference of what you do like on your lips. Okay, let's finish up this eye look. So I'm going to go back into the palette and I'm going to place this shade here on the outer corner, and I'm going to use my great little smudging brush here. And I'm just going to line that up to that little wing and bring that to basically like the center of the color of my eye. Then with the fluffy brush, I'm going to go into that shade Stone and just put a little bit on the tip there, and just take my mirror and pretty much smoke all that under the eye. Then I'm going to take that shade, that really pretty shimmer Secret that had just like a little bit of pink in it, and just place that in my inner corner. Okay, so this is today's final look using all affordable products that I absolutely love. Again, thank you so much, Clara, for inviting me to this collab. Now make sure to go watch her video on her channel and let her know in the comments that you're there visiting from here. Okay, you guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button. I can't wait to see you guys again. I love you so much. And until next time.